Fuck you, Baltimore!
If you're dumb enough to buy a new car this weekend,
You're a big enough schmuck to come to Big Bill Hell's Cars!
bad deals,
Cars that break down!
thieves,
If you think you're gonna find a bargain at Big Bill,
you can kiss my ass.
it's our belief that you're such a stupid motherfucker.
You'll fall for this bullshit.
Guaranteed.
If you find a better deal,
Shove it up your ugly ass.
you heard us right.
Shove it up your ugly ass.
Bring your tray.
Bring your title.
Bring your wife.
We'll fuck her.
That's right, we'll fuck your wife.
Because at Big Bill Hell,
You're fucked 6 ways from Sunday.
take a hike
to Big Bill Hell.
home of challenge pissing.
That's right.
Challenge pissing.
How does it work?
If you can piss 6 feet in the air straight up and not get wet,
You get no down payment.
don't wait.
Don't delay.
Don't fuck with us or we'll rip your nuts off.
Only at Big Bill Hell.
The only dealer that tells you to fuck off.
Hurry up, asshole.
This event ends the minute after you write us a check.
And it better not bounce or you're a dead motherfucker.
Go to hell.
Big Bill Hell's Cars.
Baltimore's filthiest.
And exclusive home of the meanest sons of bitches in the state of Maryland.
Guaranteed.
Hello, 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 hello.
Our second reuse of a super heavy booster and what's expected to be the final
Yeah.
launch of our second generation
keep-
vehicle.
I
I'm
keep
Amanda
being a
Lee,
few
build
minutes
reliability
late.
engineer here at SpaceX.
And I'm Jake Berkowitz, a lead propulsion engineer on our SpaceX Raptor team. Today we're coming to you live from Star Factory, just under 2 miles away from the rocket on the pad. Right
Wahoo.
outside on the lawn, the crowd
Hello,
is starting to
hello.
gather. And after liftoff, we expect that crowd to head back in to watch the rest of the launch with us and have a party.
And right behind us are 3 generations of Raptor engines, the third of which we're looking to debut on the next generation of Starship. And we'll talk a little bit more about that upgraded rocket later in the program.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, and if
Thank
you watch
you.
Flight 10, you'll
Yeah,
know it was
it
a
does.
really, really
Happens
good
to the
day for
best of
Starship.
us.
All objectives were met, and we got tons of great data
Anyway,
to learn from.
yippee, Flight
And
11.
today, we're
I
looking to
planned
build
on
the
yapping for
success
like a
of
little
that
bit,
flight.
explaining what the
Yeah,
hell is
that's right.
going
Like
on, but
in
they're doing it
Flight
for
10,
me,
we're
so
again
this is
planning to
easy.
deploy
I can
Starlink
just sit back
simulator
and drink
satellites
my
as well as test the
sarsaparilla.
limits of ship's heat shield during reentry. A controlled descent, flip maneuver, and soft splash in the Indian Ocean are also planned for ship. And hopefully our recovery team will be able to deliver some more of those amazing views that we got back on Flight 10.
Yeah, those views are just awesome. Another crazy thing, and for those of you keeping track, today actually marks the 1-year anniversary of our historic first ever booster catch. That was Booster 12. And even though we're not attempting a catch today, every time we launch a Starship, it's a big day. All right, so everyone, buckle up because maximum excitement is guaranteed.
All right.
And
Hey,
Dan
guy-
Hewitt joins us from over near Mission Control. Dan, how are things looking for launch today?
Hey, Jake. Hey, Amanda. Hey, everybody. We are looking great. I'm Dan Hewitt with SpaceX Communications. That's right. Right behind me is our Launch Control Center here at Starbase. Flight Control team is on there. They're getting Starship and Super Heavy ready for liftoff. So as you can tell, when we look at the vehicle, prop load is underway. Things are looking good. We did shift our T0 a little bit. We're tracking to 6:23 p.m. Central Time, just a couple minutes into our window. All right, so as we noted, back in August, Flight 10, it did all the things. Did all the things we wanted it to do. Started off with Super Heavy, those 33 Raptor engines igniting, lifting off right at the top of its window at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. It was able to do a successful ascent, followed that up with hot staging, Starship's upper stage igniting those 6 Raptor engines, separating Super Heavy, making its way back down. We saw the hot stage
Oh,
pop
this is
off.
easy.
it then completed its boost back burn,
It's just,
put
they're
it on the
just
course
saying
towards that
everything.
splashdown zone. It successfully did that landing burn when we intentionally disabled one of those 3 center engines. During the final phase of that, used a backup engine, entered into its final hover, shut down the engines, and then splashed down into the water. Ship, meanwhile, completed full duration ascent burn, got to its planned velocity, successfully put it on that suborbital trajectory, and then it was on to the in-space stuff. That first in-space objective was completed. 8 of those Starlink simulators were deployed. That was the first successful payload demonstration we've ever had from Starship. Each of these simulators, similar in size to the V3 Starlinks that we're going to be launching next year to add significant capacity and capability to the network. Then it was on to our second ever in-space relight of a Raptor engine. That's a key capability for when we're going to do deorbit burns on future orbital missions, and then when we're doing deep space maneuvers. Then on to the critical reentry phase, we're able to get data on the performance of that heat shield, the ship structure, push the envelope
The
on it,
orange
using the
fuck
flaps, got
that
it
was
down to the
this
splashdown
ship.
zone, did the landing flip, did the landing burn. Killer views from the recovery team. Soft splashdown over in the
It's
Indian Ocean. We were
orange.
just about 3 meters off of our target, so pretty much nailed it. It was
Goddamn.
a huge day, tons of excitement here at Starbase. just a reminder, though, this is still the early days. I mean, we're on Flight 11 today. There's a lot more we're going to do to get full reusability, increase our launch cadence, eventually start sending missions to the moon and Mars. I mean, we've got thousands of launches to come. But for now, we're looking good
What are
for
we
launch.
hoping
Toss
for
it back
today,
down
boss?
to Amanda and Jake.
Awesome, thank you, Dan.
Something funny.
Starship is the first
Why did
orbital
Riot
launch
Games
vehicle
just open?
engineered
Oh,
to be
no.
fully reusable, just like a commercial airliner. In fact,
Why
to
did
that
that
end, we're
happen?
actually
What's-
reflying a Super Heavy booster
Anyway,
for the
what are we
second
hoping
time
for
today.
today? I
This
want
booster last flew on
some
Flight
either
8.
something funny to
So
happen
let's
or
just start with how
something,
powerful this
or
rocket
this just to
really is.
work
When you
perfectly.
stack Starship up against one of the world's biggest
It will
airplanes, the
probably be
747,
fine.
a
I
single
think
Raptor engine
everything's.
is actually double the thrust of
I don't
all
think it's
4
gonna fuck
airplane
up
engines
today.
put together. So that means the
And
Super
then here's the
Heavy
moment
over
we
in the
take
pad
that
right
clip
now with its
and
33
then,
Raptors is equal
like,
to the
take
power of
the-
about
do that,
64
do
747s.
that like subtle
Yeah, that's just
foreshadowing
crazy,
of me
Amanda.
screaming
The power this
as
rocket
it's like
generates is
exploding.
incredible. To be
And,
specific,
like,
it's over
that's like what would happen.
16.7 million pounds of thrust. Numbers almost incomprehensible, but it's just crazy. All
Yeah.
right, to break it down, Starship is made of 2 parts. First is the Super Heavy booster, which is powered by 33 of those Raptor engines that run on liquid methane.
So either
and
something
liquid
interesting
oxygen.
or
And
we have a
second
good
is the
flight
Starship
today.
upper stage,
I hope it
powered
doesn't
by
scrub
6 Raptor
again,
engines. 3 are
because
optimized for
last
soaring
time I tried
performance, and
streaming,
3 are
it
for
scrubbed, and then I
vacuum
thought it
performance
wasn't
with
gonna
a larger nozzle
launch,
extension.
so then it just didn't
All right, and
stream
since
the
Starship's
actual
second
launch
stage,
like I
it will one
planned
day
to.
carry cargo, payloads, and people all the way to Mars and beyond.
The Super Heavy booster
Yeah,
is
yeah,
designed to
yeah.
launch, separate, flip, and return to the launch site where it can be caught by the chopsticks on the launch tower. However, as previously noted, we won't be attempting one of those catches today. Starship, on the other hand, re-enters the Earth's atmosphere at the conclusion of its mission, steering itself to a vertical landing or catch. And both stages are designed to return to Earth and fly again, making this the first rocket in history that will be fully reusable.
Yeah, and we cannot forget that between the 2 vehicles is the hot stage ring, a structure made of steel that allows the ship's engines to ignite while still attached to the booster, enabling a faster and more efficient stage separation. Right now, that hot stage ring is single use, but in the future, it will be built in directly to the V3 booster forward end.
And finally, the infrastructure built to support Starship is referred to as Stage 0. This includes the launch pads, tank farm, and the launch towers, which hold the chopsticks that catch the Super Heavy booster and eventually will also catch the ship.
Yeah, and to get us ready for launch today, we recently conducted another static test fire, basically where we
No
fire up the
boosting
engines
ca-
to
yeah.
launch without actually launching. You're seeing the booster on the
Sigh.
screen right now. It's a crucial
Sighs
milestone to
loudly.
let us know we're ready to go. And
No
then here we're
booster
seeing
catch.
ship. We
I don't
did
know why
this
they're
for
not
the second
going.
time
Oh.
on a retrofitted mount on
Actually, I
pad
know,
one.
I get why.
We had a full
It's
9-second
the
duration
second time
burn
we've
on
ever
all
tried to
6 engines.
refly a booster, and the first
We
time
should
it didn't
also
go
note that
great.
today's launch on pad 1
So
is intended to be the
I
last
get
launch
it,
on this pad
but
in this
man,
configuration.
it'd be so
As we head into
cool.
the next
The
generation
1-year
Starship flight test
anniversary
program,
of the
we'll be
first
modifying
booster
pad 1
catch,
to meet the
where
demands
they
of
catch
future
the
missions.
first reflown
Yeah, and
booster.
among many other things,
That'd
we're
be so
installing a
awesome.
new orbital launch mount, a new flame trench system, and upgrading the chopsticks for future catches. So until that's complete, we'll be running operations from Pad 2, which will be coming online very soon. All right, let's go over to Hawthorne, where Tyler is ready to talk a little Starlink.
Who'd be launching?
Thank you, Jake and Amanda.
Me.
My name is Tyler Lionquist, and I'm a Starlink
I'm
business
going
analyst
up.
here at SpaceX.
Put me
Starlink
on,
is
coach.
SpaceX's low Earth orbit, high-speed internet that's bringing connectivity both on Earth and in space. So, Starship is outfitted again today with 4 Starlink terminals, powering those incredible live shots of ship in orbit, through re-entry, and then all the way down to splashdown in the Indian Ocean. Now, we've had a couple of recent milestones that are worth celebrating. Back in September, we launched Starlink for its 300th time. And this summer, we surpassed 7 million active customers with service available across 150 countries and territories.
Yeah.
We've come a really long way since
Yeah,
turning on service
Starlink.
for our first paying
Yeah.
customer in rural Idaho
Yeah,
5 years ago, back in October of 2020.
Yeah. Yeah. Starlink ad. Starlink ad time.
Maples are looking beautiful.
I'm Wendy Layer. I live in Sandpoint, Idaho, and we are the first Starlink customers.
With Starlink, we didn't have to compromise on where we live due to the lack of technology.
The minute they turned it on, we could stream a movie, we could video chat, we could play games on the internet without a lot of lag. I changed jobs earlier this year, so now I actually have the ability to work remote.
Here's my house program runs on the cloud. I can send everything
Ads.
I want out to get prices. And
Sigh.
I like to bake.
Oh, they
so
have-
I've been able to
They have a lot of
research recipes.
they have a
and try
lot
new
of viewers
things.
right now. They need to advertise. They need to run these ads
And yet
for
we are connected to
a
anybody
quarter of a
else.
million people. Oh, the ads
And I'm
ended.
happy to report that Wendy and Sean are still Starlink customers today. So in just over 5 years, we've added dedicated services for
Oh no, the ad's
aviation,
still going.
maritime, RVs and rail, and have expanded our emergency response capabilities. We've activated high-quality internet for millions of people, including those that live in some of the most remote places on Earth. Starlink is enabling rural school districts, counties, and tribal governments
true,
to offer online access to education, telemedicine, and many other critical services, in some cases for
Sorry,
the
I'm
first time
EP.
ever.
I got the EP
And
bug.
yet, a third of the planet continues to go without access to reliable high-speed internet, so there's a lot more work for us to do. But Starlink was designed from the very beginning to meet these needs. And as each new version of Starlink comes online, the
Ooh.
constellation's capacity and performance increases significantly.
Oh,
The larger
wow.
V3 satellites that will deploy from Starship will bring gigabit connectivity to users and are designed to add 60 terabits per second of downlink capacity to the Starlink network. That's more than 20 times the capacity
I like
added
that.
with every V2
I don't think
that
they've
we
ever
launched
shown
on
that
Falcon 9.
the
And then on
3D
the
renders
cellular
of what the
front,
of
last
what
month,
the
SpaceX announced a deal that provides
b-
Starlink
b-
with
b-
exclusive
what
spectrum for its next generation direct-to-cell
what's the
satellites,
Starlinks look
which will be
like? That's really
capable of
cool. I
providing
like that.
broadband service to cell phones globally. Starlink is the largest 4G coverage provider on Earth. Over 7 million people
Yep.
across 5 continents already rely on Starlink to connect their LTE phones to data, voice, video, and messaging, where terrestrial service is unavailable. So we're excited to have the opportunity to help close those coverage gaps and ultimately eliminate mobile dead zones around the world. So yeah, there's a lot happening with Starlink, and there's a lot more to come. So let's head back to Amanda and Jake at Starbase to take us through today's flight profile.
Thank you so much, Tyler.
So
So
cool.
today's flow profile,
So
we're looking
awesome.
to get our second re-entry with this
Chat,
iteration
purchase
of SHIP.
Starlink.
And prior to every launch, we work closely with the FAA and International Air
It's
Traffic
chunky, it's
Organizations to
gigantic.
efficiently and safely integrate launch and re-entry operations into the airspace.
I fuck with them, honestly. I think they're very
Got a
cool.
special guest here.
Oh, god damn it.
Live.
Alright, well, just gotta mute that. Oh, well. Oh, my background audio is not even working. Damn it. Hold on. Do that. And then this. That's not even working. Damn. Yep. Oh. Oh, thank goodness. He's gone.
There. But yeah,
Ugh.
starting with liftoff, we'll do
Jumps,
flight profile
Elon
here.
jump
Super Heavy
scare.
will ignite 33 engines, 24 of which
I
are
need-
flight proven today.
This man needs to
We'll
go
power through
away.
ascent ahead of hot stage separation, where booster will shut down all but 3 engines. Stage 2 lights his Raptor engines while still attached to Super Heavy.
Now I'm
Hot
hoping the
stage
funny
separation.
happens.
We'll see a directional booster flip and engine relight for boost back.
Man, it would be so funny if something. It would be so funny if the
Meanwhile,
V2
SHIP will continue
ships
with its ascent
end
burn to
with,
suborbital trajectory,
as they
where
say,
we'll attempt to
go
deploy
off
8
with a
Starlink
bang.
simulator satellites. And we're also planning to relight a single Raptor engine. Then it's time for re-entry, where we're once again testing the limits of Starship's heat shield by intentionally removing tiles. The ship will also perform a pretty dynamic banking maneuver that mimics the path of a return to launch site for Ketch that will fly on a future mission. And if all that goes as planned, we'll conclude the test with a landing flip, burn, and soft water splashdown in the Indian Ocean. So definitely another action-packed flight profile, Dan.
Woohoo.
This is planned to be the final launch of this version of Starship, version number 2. Right now, we're actively building multiple next-generation V3 Starship and Super Heavy vehicles in the factory, kind of right behind us, so let's take a minute and nerd out a little bit. All right, those are going to be launching from Pad 2, which is nearing completion down here at Starbase.
Oh, yeah.
Pad and the vehicles are going to roll in really significant changes.
Oh,
This is
never
building
mind,
on
it's
everything we've
Rangers.
learned from
I
all
thought we
these
were going to
flight
see
tests
actual
to make a
flight
vehicle that
hardware.
we're looking to mass produce. Starting with the Starship
this
upper
fuck
stage, which is
ass.
going to look pretty similar on
Oh,
the
the
outside, but
booster.
getting
Oh, I
pretty
hate
much a
it.
complete overhaul
I mean,
under
I
the
love
hood.
it like
getting
as an
major design
engineer,
changes to its
but
propulsion
as an
system
artist, I
that's gonna
fucking
accommodate
hate
that new
it.
version of
Oh,
Raptor, which
it's
puts out higher
I
thrust.
hate those
We're also getting
fins.
an energy storage upgrades, tons of avionics changes, a lot of things that will enable longer duration missions.
What a
One notable
weirdo.
thing you'll start seeing on the outside are these new docking adapters, which we'll use when we bring
Yep,
two
yep.
starships together for propellant transfer. That's a core capability of Starship that we're going to demonstrate next year. Bottom line, though, this is the Starship we're planning to use for all of our next major milestones, orbital missions,
As much
return
as I
launch
dunk
site
on
and
them, I am
catch,
so
reuse,
excited to
propellant
see
transfer, and
this
then making our way
specific
to the moon and
event
Mars.
happen
Now, Super Heavy, we've shown
when
some
it
of this
happens
off,
in
some of this
like
hardware already coming
probably
out
a
of the
year.
factory. It has upgrades
Probably
like
be like
this, a
mid to late
redesigned
next
fuel
year,
transfer tube. That
hopefully,
thing's roughly the same
unless
size
something
as the
really
first stage
funny
of the Falcon 9
happens
rocket
early
that
next
channels
year.
all their cryogenic fuel down to Super Heavy's 33 engines. We made it bigger. It's basically a rocket inside of our rocket that gives us a faster, more reliable flip and simultaneous engine startup. New booster also going to have an integrated hot stage, a lot more vent area, and it's designed to be fully reusable.
Oh my god,
Pressure
I'm
from
so
those
sorry.
engine plumes gets vented out, mostly
You
offset just by the
didn't hear
pressure in the
that. That
fuel
didn't
tank.
happen.
That is the top of the fuel tank. And
I'm
then
gonna
we
stop
add a
drinking sarsaparilla.
non-structural layer of steel on the top that helps take all the heating. It's mapped to where all the high heating goes. Grid fins also getting a big change, going from 4 down to 3. They're 50% larger, though, much higher strength. They're also going to get used for vehicle lift and catch.
Wait,
That's all made
wait,
possible.
hang on.
There's a new
Wait,
catch point addition
wait, hang on.
on
Wait,
those grid fins. We've also
wait,
kind of
wait,
reclocked their
wait,
position
hang
on the
on.
booster
Wait,
that aligns them with
wait,
the
hang on.
catch arms.
Wait, hang on. Wait a minute.
You got it right in the middle there. All right, and then powering
Wait a
it
minute.
all, Raptor 3 looks radically different.
Wait, the
just straight
catching,
up radical. Tons of major
the
changes.
load
It's
points are
coming
on
in
the
higher
grid fins
thrust,
now.
dramatic reduction in parts. Tons of control
thought they were on the-
mechanisms moved inside.
what?
Our McGregor team's built some additional
This is
stands
news
like
to
this
me.
one, which essentially is the bottom of a super heavy booster. Lets us do gimbal or steering tests.
Before
So
doesn't
that's been
super
really
heavy
exciting
to
to
get
see.
humans to the
Also
moon
been
go
getting
brr.
vacuum versions
I
of
love
Raptor
my
3 into
16
test. The first
launches.
flight engines are already in production and are about to start acceptance testing for Flight 12. So a lot of exciting changes coming, and we're getting ready to
Sarsaparilla
mass produce
sounds-
everything, including one of the really
I'm gonna have to
key
admit
contributors
something
to their rapid
live on
reusability,
stream to everyone
the heat
here.
shield tiles. Let's move over to Tyler.
I've never
in
played New
Hawthorne, who's got
Vegas.
a really cool look at what's happening with tiles in Florida.
I've never played it. I've never.
Thank you, Dan.
I don't know anything
Indeed,
about that
Starship's
game.
heat
I
shield
just
is
know
the
about. I know
linchpin
about
to full and
Sunset
rapid
Sarsaparilla.
reusability. We can't launch,
But I've never
land,
played
refuel, and
New
launch again
Vegas.
if we have to spend months
Never played
refurbishing
it
the heat
before.
shield after every launch, like they did in the Space Shuttle program. So, in a future where Starship is flying several times a day, many, many thousands of heat shield tiles will be required. So yeah, we need to get cooking on those tiles, which is exactly what's happening inside the fully automated bakery down at the Cape. In just
The
3 years,
bakery.
tile production at the bakery has
Blind
surpassed the
playthrough
total
trust.
number of
I could
tiles
do
produced
that.
during
That
the
would be
30
fun.
years of the shuttle program. To go from the raw material
Ooh.
to a finished tile,
Sorry, I got
it takes about
distracted by
40
this
hours.
wonderful
And
footage.
today, the bakery is producing about 1,000 tiles a day. But it's set up to produce enough tiles for 10 ships per month, which is about 7,000 tiles a day, or a tile off the line every 13
Wow.
seconds. So yeah, the bakery is well on its way to providing Starship with all the tiles for
Okay,
missions to
good.
Mars
Okay, I'm
and
glad I'm
beyond.
not the only one.
And for today's
Okay.
flight, we've made a
Thank
modification
goodness.
to the heat shield tiles. Dan, do you mind filling us in on what's being referred to as the Crunchwrap tile?
Absolutely. I always love to get to
Oh,
do
yeah,
a
the
little show and
Crunchwrap
tell.
tiles.
So
I've
we've got
heard about them.
thousands of these heat shield tiles covering Starship. Now they're kind of all next to each other. There's a small gap in between all of them. You got to leave a little bit of space as that metal underneath will expand and contract. That way they don't crunch into each other and start breaking. However, that lets some of that plasma kind of seep through, and we see really high heating on the sides and then down on the metal. To help fix that,
Yummy.
we have this, the crunch wrap
Yummy
that everyone has heard
tile.
about. So we take
I had the
essentially that's
crunch
called
wrap.
Vulcan felt that we then wrap around, and so as these tiles are next to each other, you've got a small bit in between that's going to help offset
tiles.
that heating.
Yummy.
It's just one of the ways we're continuing to iterate on this heat shield, getting towards rapid reusability. Hopefully it's going to help Starship live Moss. You know, everything is just going to get us to that end state of a fully and rapidly reusable vehicle. So pretty much the entire vehicle has those on it today. We've done this on multiple Starships previously, but this time pretty much the whole vehicle has it. So that was
Huh.
special for today.
Neat.
All right, enough heat shield tiles. Let's go quick check-in on the pad. So if you did notice, we did shift our T0 just a little bit. We're now counting down to 6:23 and 41 seconds Central Time. We shifted a little bit as we were working to finish clearing the range. We are monitoring sea and airspace, both here over the Gulf and
Thank
in
goodness. Okay, they
our
currently all
splashdown
go.
location over on the Indian Ocean. We were working with
Please,
the FAA, a lot of other
please
international
launch.
agencies to
I don't want it
coordinate
to
all
happen
this.
again.
Good news, range is currently green. We're able to get everything out of the way
I
that we were
don't want
tracking
this
in
to
the
happen
Gulf. So,
again. I don't
weather
want
status,
to. I don't
nothing
want to
really need to
scrub
do,
while
not
I'm
a
live
cloud in the sky,
again.
beautiful
I'll have
day,
to do this
no
tomorrow.
probability of violation for launch at this point. We're not currently tracking any issues on the vehicle or the pad. You can see our fill levels are getting up there. We're almost completely
Lux
done
is
with
already
our propellant
almost
loading.
full. Jesus.
We've gone
That's
through
quick.
all of our checkouts so far this morning, aligning our guidance, navigation, and control system, getting the vehicles ready for prop load, the farm. Everything's gone pretty smoothly so far. We got through our go, no go for prop load. That happens at T-minus 1 hour and 15 minutes. We've been loading fuel and locks on board the ship since about 53 minutes before launch. Boosters started just about 10 minutes after that. We continue loading prop until just around 3 minutes before liftoff, and then at that point we'll be ready to go. So bottom line at the moment, we're looking real good. Again, 6:23 and 41 seconds Central Time is our target T0,
Woohoo.
so we're going to keep counting down.
Sounds like great news so far. Thank you, Dan. And we do say it repeatedly because it's important to understand, but
This
these
is a
flight tests are
test.
all about the data. Data
And all
helps
the
us
data,
build
all
and
that,
fly
yeah,
faster
yeah.
until we're eventually ready to fly people and cargo at scale to Mars. That is our foundational mission and basically just the
I have
major
people
inspiration for our
first
work here
before
every day.
cargo.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Amanda. And our first missions to the Red Planet are just down the road, and we recently shared some exciting news. Starship cargo flights to the Martian surface for research, development, and exploratory missions begin in 2030. And we already have our first customer.
They
yeah,
dropped,
exactly. Starship is open for business, and one
they
of the
dropped
first payloads will
cargo
be provided by the
prices
Italian
for
Space
Moon and
Agency.
Mars.
They recently signed a
It's
first-of-its-kind agreement to carry Italian
interesting.
experiments on the initial Starship missions that deliver customer payloads to Mars.
It's about the price I
In related
expected.
news, Starship cargo flights to the surface of the Moon for research, development, and exploratory missions will start in
But
2028.
like,
So a ton of
the
Starship
amount
activity
of
to look forward
payload
to.
that they
And if
can
you'd like
get
to learn
to
more
like the
about
Moon
our
and
mission to
Mars
making
in
humanity
a single
multiplanetary,
launch, it's
go ahead and
fine.
visit
The sheer
spacex.com/Mars.
the cost is kind of
Okay,
insane.
now as we get closer to launch, development continues down
But
here at Starbase, Texas, to shape this growing city into a truly unique place to live and work. And part of
I don't
being a
have a
city,
launch
particularly
company
one surrounded by nature,
yet,
is
so I
environmental
can't judge 'em.
stewardship. The nearby Boca Beach dunes have unfortunately been eroding
Nope,
at
they
an
don't.
alarming rate for some time.
It's just-
So SpaceX is teaming up with Cameron County and the city of Starbase to stop that
Really?
erosion and
Yeah.
hopefully preserve the beach for years to come.
Yeah, and as one of its first
I got
permanent
distracted. They're
residents
talking about
and someone who's
beaches.
actually called Starbase home for over 3 years now, I can tell you the beach totally adds to the uniqueness and awesomeness of living here. Starbase is truly unlike any other place on Earth. You know, where else can you see the world's biggest rocket every single day?
Yeah, Starbase is definitely the place to be, and we're always looking for more people to come help build the future of spaceflight.
Yeah, particularly engineers, especially
yapping
for
about
our propulsion
job
and
market,
mechanical
or yapping
system
about giving
teams.
people
You
jobs.
could be working on tests just like these ones, proving out the designs of our next generation Super Heavy booster. Fun fact, we actually tested the booster to 13,400 tons of thrust, which is more than the power of 3.5 Saturn V rockets, which is just crazy. We're also looking for civil and structural engineers to help literally build the future.
Whether it's buildings
Go
like
be
the Giga
employed.
Base currently going up at both Starbase
I love
and the
corporate
Cape, each with a
towns.
massive vertical integration
I
and
love
assembly
being.
facility with over
I love corporate
700,000
towns. I
square
love
feet
when
of
big
workspace-
corporation
workspace.
owns my
Both sites are currently in
home.
progress, actually going vertical as we speak. Or you could be designing the Starship launch sites of the future. There's really no shortage of future to build
Nothing
here.
bad.
So
True.
visit
Nothing bad has
SpaceX.com/careers
ever happened from a
to see all
corporate
of our
town.
openings if you're interested.
It always
Okay, now as
works,
we head
and
into
there is
Terminal 10,
zero
all eyes are
problems
on the
with
rocket.
corporate towns.
Dan, how are we looking? Are we green?
Amanda, we are so green. Everything's still looking really
Yay,
good. So we've got
green.
a green range, not tracking any blockers there to launch. We're continuing to load prop on board the vehicle. We're
Good.
just about to close out, so we'll close out again just about 3 minutes and 20 seconds before liftoff. We'll close out on ship, and then booster just about 30 seconds later. And then you end up with about 11 million pounds of liquid propellant on board those two stages. After we're fully loaded on the vehicle, the pad
Yippee,
itself
lit
gets ready for
Blackstone on
launch. We do what's called
everything.
pushbacks. We clear all
Yippee.
that prop out of the lines in the tower and the feed system back into the tanks to get ready for launch. And then in the next couple of minutes, we're going to do our final GNC guidance, navigation, and control system alignment.
Okay,
we're
we're
going
at
to arm the automatic flight safety
4 minutes
system.
30. This is, I think, closer than last time.
The steering for the engines, which we might be able to catch a quick peek at. As
Yeah, Starlink credits.
If we need to hold, which
Mars
we're not
bucks.
tracking a reason to, that would happen.
Everything, yeah, they pay their employees in their own currency, like Mars bucks, and then use that money to buy food and pay for rent. And exponentially, they'll like lower they'll increase how much stuff costs to increase the amount of you know, amount of hours that everyone works. So they, you know, make the workers want to work more by making things cost more in their artificial currency. It's just, there's only benefits. It's only beneficial.
However, once the water for the deflector system begins flowing at T-minus 10 seconds, any issue after that would be an automatic scrub for the day, as teams would need to refill the deflector's water tanks as well as the propellant storage tanks at the tank farm before making another attempt.
Yeah.
All right, we are coming up on 3 minutes away from launch. You can see the frost line all the way up. We've just closed out prop load onto the ship. Booster coming up shortly.
Your salary in Dogecoin.
Yeah, in about 10 seconds, we'll finish loading prop on the booster, and then again, we'll have about 11 million pounds of that liquid oxygen,
3 minutes.
Liquid methane on board the
We
vehicles.
might be so back, chat.
We
might actually watch the launch happen.
It can pop up at the last moment, or after we pass that gate. We can always hang out there for a couple of minutes if we need to. We do have some extra time. We're not constantly topping off the propellant in these vehicles, so we have about a 7-8 minute window where we can wait
before you
for
even
any
got
final
it.
issues to clear.
Yeah.
We're not currently tracking a reason to hold there. Again, our range continues to be green as we look at sea and airspace both out over the Gulf and in our re-entry zone out in the Indian Ocean. All right, 2 minutes, 15 seconds to go. A lot of things on tap for Flight 11. Planned to be the last launch of this version of Starship and Super Heavy. Once again, we're really focused on getting ship over to re-entry.
Yeah.
Once we get to that phase, we're going to dive in. There's a lot of exciting stuff that's going to be happening on our way back through and down to the ground, hopefully out in the Indian Ocean. Minute 45. Should hopefully be seeing.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
There's a quick wiggle check.
Wiggle.
Checking out the thrust vector control, the steering on the booster. We use those 13 engines.
Oh, yeah.
Doing their one final dance before the big show. And we'll do that one more time after we cross that T-minus 40 gate. All right, range continues to be green.
Honestly,
still not tracking.
I don't think this one's going to disintegrate itself. And this is the point in which you cut to it exploding.
1 minute to go.
But I mean, the last flight went great, so like I don't see why.
As a reminder,
it would explode this time.
We can
it didn't have any problems last time.
Surely.
Maybe we'll have 2 good flights this year out of 5.
Through T-minus 40.
Oh, they passed it.
Flight Director
sick.
Ty Huntington back in the seat. Take us through the final
Flight
seconds
Directors go for launch.
All right, here we go. Get up the volume. Oh, the volume's real low. My bad. A little high.
T-minus 10, 9, 8,
here we go.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
We have liftoff.
Yay!
Go Super Heavy. Go Starship. Thanks for all the historic flights, Pad 1.
Hooray! Look at her go!
Vehicles catching downrange.
Oh, it's loud.
Booster Raptor chamber pressure nominal.
Oh, hell yeah. Yippee! Lift off.
Booster and ship, nominal power and telemetry.
All right, we are about 45 seconds into flight. We're still getting the rattle here at Star Factory. We are seeing 33 out of 33 Raptor engines lit on Super Heavy as it arcs across the Gulf. Coming up next on Max Q.
Wow. Oh. So I haven't had onboard views yet.
Max Q.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
So at this point, we've passed through that period of maximum aerodynamic pressure. The next thing we're looking forward to is going to be hot staging. So
hell yeah.
We've got 33 to 33 Raptors lit. Super Heavy makes its way uphill. Hot staging is going to be coming up in just a little over a minute. At that point, we're going to see all but 3 of those Raptor engines on Super Heavy shut down. Our version of Miko. Most engines cut off instead of main engine. And then after that, we're going to release the clamps that are currently holding Starship to that hot stage adapter. It's then going to ignite its 6 Raptor engines to push it away from Super Heavy and then start making its flight uphill.
Oh, look at that.
So in about 30 seconds, we're going to see the engines start to shut down on Super Heavy. You'll see them kind of shut off in separate banks until we've just got those 3 center engines that never stop running for this process.
And just,
then looking for
that's the remove before flight tag that they just forgot. Don't worry about it.
All right.
It was in control of stage
coming up in about 10 seconds.
So we're going to see something very funny happen now.
See the engines throttling down.
Yeah.
Booster engine cut off.
Oh, there it goes.
Ship ignition.
Woohoo!
Stage separation. Use back burn startup.
Oh, they lost an engine. Well, they lost 2. Nope, just 1.
All right, successful hot staging maneuver. So we've got 12 of the 13 engines lit back up on boosters, so it's doing its boost back. Real excitingly, though, we've got 6 out of 6 Raptors lit on ship there, so it's now going to continue to make its ascent into outer space.
I'm just used to this.
Meanwhile, this boost back is happening. We're using those 13 engines, so everything, well, 12 out of the 13, and then we go down to 3, and then we're going to shut down for the end of boost back. That's sending Super Heavy back towards its planned splashdown zone in the Gulf. Right after we finish this boost back burn, we're also going to separate the hot stage. This will be the final time that we're doing this. All right, there's the end of the boost back burn. We should be seeing the hot stage.
Oh, it's gone now.
So the hot stage separates. It's going to make its way down. Also splash down.
That's a really cool blue rock. I'm a big fan of that blue rock down there.
Ship Raptors are going to continue firing for about 5 more minutes. Next up for the booster, though, is going to be its landing burn. There's a cool tracking shot. We dumped some of the prop out on our way back in.
Yeah.
All right, so for booster, this is one of the main things we're trying to get is going to be this landing burn.
Stage ring.
So you can see the hot stage kind of making its way towards the left side. So that's the bottom of the booster. It's about to pass right in front of where you can see some of that propped up happening. They look like they're close together, but there's a good amount of distance between them, and the hot stage will go down and splash down in the Gulf while the booster comes back for its landing burn.
Starship is on nominal trajectory.
They don't need that prop in.
All right.
They don't need prop.
Looking good on our trajectory, looking good on
everything.
everything.
That's why they're dumping it.
Jake and Manny, you guys with me down there?
It's gonna. They just need
definitely.
To
the crowd is gathering over here in the office. You can definitely feel the energy in here. great to see that booster is
like
making its way down to the splashdown
prop
zone
dumping.
in the Gulf.
And like prop punch.
Yeah, the shaking
True.
down here was absolutely nuts. The windows are still there, still intact.
Hang on.
So that was pretty awesome. But
That's
yeah,
a very
boosters
cool-
coming down.
oh.
We're at about 30
Oh,
kilometers.
that is a nice view.
All right, yeah, and as we approach that landing, just like tower catches, we will be doing a 13-engine landing burn to slow down. This time it will be in a V3
I
configuration.
can see it heating up.
And as we're starting to get into the denser part of the atmosphere, the booster is using 4 hypersonic grid fins to guide itself through atmospheric entry towards its landing site.
And we're just about 20 seconds away from landing burn start, where we'll first ignite the center 13 engines, then bring that down to 5 to slow down the booster for landing. And finally, that will come down to 3, and we'll cut all of them off while we're still about 200
Here it
meters in
goes.
the air. So booster is going to see a bit of a harder landing.
Booster landing burn startup.
Hooray! It did it!
Booster landing burn shutdown.
And they dropped it in the drink.
And there we heard it, booster landing burn shutdown. We saw a 13 to 5 to 3
And there it
V3
goes.
demonstration, and into the water we go. Wow,
Bye-bye, booster.
That was absolutely awesome. If you can even hear us right now, congrats to the whole SpaceX team. So far, so good for today. That was incredible.
All right, great stuff, guys. I'm jealous of the crowd. All right, back to ship. Ship's still making its way. We've got a little under 2 minutes left in this ascent burn, so we've got all
Big
6 Raptor
splash.
engines still firing. So the next major milestone we're going to be looking for is SECO. That's our second stage engine cutoff. That's should be coming right at about 8 minutes and 58 seconds into flight, so we've got about 1:20 still to go. Really cool to see Booster go through that that landing burn. That was one of our really key demonstrations we wanted to try and do today. Is that's mimicking what we're going to be hopefully doing. Oh, we just got our sonic boom, sounds like, from the booster coming back.
Oh, that's what? Yeah.
All right, less than a minute to go. So we are going to see the 3 RVACs, the vacuum optimized engines, shut down first, and then we'll shut down those 3 center engines. So we should be a little under a minute until SECO. Just a reminder, this is putting us into a suborbital trajectory, so we're intentionally just
Big fan of
going
this
slow
camera
enough
angle.
that we're not going to achieve full orbit. This puts us on a course where those engines shut off, and no matter what, we're coming back.
Starship is in terminal guidance.
In the Indian Ocean. All right, terminal guidance. So we should start seeing the shutdowns come up in just a couple seconds. Less than 30 seconds to go in this ship ascent burn.
Oh.
All right, RVACs have shut off. 3 more to go.
Ship engine cutoff.
Yay! It made it.
All right, all ship Raptors have shut
Nominal
down.
orbit insertion.
Hooray.
You just heard nominal
Thanks,
orbital
Valve
insertion,
anti-cheat.
so we are on the path that we wanted to be. So we've got a ship back in space, a whole lot planned for it, lots more still to come. Great seeing Super Heavy
Yay.
make its way to the water, but I'm excited to see what ship can do in space. How's everybody doing down there?
See, I said it would be fine.
Yeah,
it would
if you could
be
hear the crowd
it'd be
behind us this whole
perfectly
time, people
fine.
are
Nothing has
definitely
gone
happy
wrong,
with
and
how
nothing.
the day's been panning out so far. Definitely exciting to see Starship safely in space, and
That's-
super pumped to see all the team's hard work in action here today.
You know, I'm just gonna ignore
Yeah,
that
and we
debris.
guaranteed it at the
Everything's
start of the show,
perfect.
but it has been an awesome day so far. It's crazy. All this has happened in just 10 minutes. All the objectives were met on the booster, including that V3 style landing burn. So now all eyes are on the
That's
ship
fine.
as we
That's
get ready for
normal.
our
Debris is
in-space objectives.
fine.
But we've got a few minutes until that next milestone, so sit tight enjoy the views, enjoy the space jams. We'll be back at T plus 16 minutes for payload deploy.
All right. So now it's like, what, another 5 or so minutes of just this. So how are you all doing? How's y'all's day been so far? Ugh. Oh, venting's mostly stopped. Nope, still going. And it's about to hit sunset. Oh. Fact. Yeah. I've been just chilling too for the most part. Trying to figure out going on HRT. Good luck, Unfi. Yeah, I am a bit sick at the moment. I got a cold. I gave myself a cold because I ran outside in the rain a lot today. Yesterday. I got rained on quite a bit. Oh no. Views by Star. Yeah, I know views by Starlink. Watch Knights of Guinevere. Last time you mentioned on stream and it went into it without knowing the writer's history with Disney. Yeah, it's so peak. Knights of Guinevere is so peak. A bunch of cleaning today. Hell yeah. I do need to clean. That's like, once the stream ends in like another at least 40 minutes. That's what I'm gonna go do cleaning and then do some, gonna ignore that, do some boring work stuff. I was gonna say pumpkin rules or top living in the land and for sustainable dream, like, yeah. It's like when you don't know the history of the writer, or at least one of the lead writers, the co-creator, Dana Terrace. It's like a interesting premise when you know like her previous works and her like history with Disney. It's like, oh, okay, that's where that came from. It all starts making sense. View the lights. Very cool. Yeah, that's fine. That's normal. It does that sometimes. Who hacking the spaceship? Oh, now that this is a view I haven't seen before. This is a new one. There we go.
All right, welcome back, everybody. If you're just now joining us, where the heck were you? But we are getting ready for payload deploy.
Yeah.
That's going to start once we get the payload door open. That should be happening, or at least starting, within the next minute or so. It's been a really cool flight so far. Quick look inside the payload. We've got 8 Starlink simulators getting ready to make their way into outer space. But
they better have put a camera on at least one of them.
Booster able to make it all the way to its splashdown and landing burn experiment, so that was really exciting to see. We got ship on orbit, nominal orbital insertion, so right in the money with its trajectory. Now we're ready to start tackling a couple of in-space objectives. So next up, we are currently venting down the nose cone, essentially the payload area of Starship, as we get ready to open up this payload door. We were able to do this successfully for the very first time on our last flight, on Flight 10.
Oh, the door's open.
Oop. Hal got ahead of me. Looks like he's opening up the payload door already.
Wow.
All right, looks like we got the door open.
Hooray. Please have a camera on one of these Starlink simulators.
All right, so payload door is open. Next up, gonna be to start deploying these Starlink simulators.
Please. You have the mass budget for a camera.
They are roughly the same size as the V3 Starlink satellites that Starship's going to be carrying. That's going to add some pretty crazy capacity. We'll run through the numbers in a little bit. We were able to do this for the very first time ever on our last flight, and so this will be another test. We made a couple of tweaks to the rails for deploying this based off of what we saw last time, but excited to see these get out the door. Our next iteration of Starship's also going to have kind of a more powerful PEZ. It's going to deploy these at a little bit faster speed. But
they're flying through a cloud now.
To see our,
that's
our next
like
demonstration of this hopefully in the next
that's like
couple of
gas
seconds.
stuff that's just like ejecting from the ship. It just loves circling around. Like if you saw the flight, I think it was flight 9.
That view on your left, so you're basically
insane.
that would be if you were sitting at the very top of the nose cone looking down. So there's kind of a short stack. There's 4 on either side, so 8 total when we start flying Starlinks.
But yeah, if you saw Flight 9, it was basically just like a circle of just a gas. So it was like flying through clouds, and
once we start flying
insane.
These operationally,
It was insane
but
looking.
still doing a little bit of a short just for this payload deployed today.
Oh, okay.
Looks like we got a little bit of movement there, Dan.
Coax it out. Get it moving, Jake.
There we go. All right, first one going out.
There goes. Hooray!
All right, first one's deployed. Getting ready for the second one here. We
immediately cut away from the outside camera view. Our lecture's over. Hi, Rose.
Yeah, it takes about a minute for each one.
It's going great. We're doing the mock deploy. Hey! Please have the camera on one of them.
Real smooth too. They made a couple of tweaks to those rails. If you watched the last ones, it had a couple of bumps on the way out, but moving out super clean this time.
Yeah, and as noted earlier in the show, but definitely worth repeating, Starship will deploy Starlink's more advanced V3 satellites, adding 60 terabits per second of capacity to the network per launch. So that's 20 times more than each Falcon 9 launch does today. Just incredible.
Yeah, and anybody that's been following Starship, you know, Starlink's
Yep,
kind
the
of
landing configuration
the
went
MVP
great.
for
The
these
launch,
flight tests, where
honestly,
it's
the
not
launch
only
went
giving us
really
the
good.
views we're seeing right now,
Like,
but also just real-time
yeah,
data
the landing
through
went
every
great.
phase of flight.
Landed
So we've got a couple
exactly
dozen
as
cameras on
planned.
Starship.
The
We've
landing
also got
we had like there was like
bunch of
one
cameras
engine that was
spread
lost
across the
on the
globe,
boost deck.
including out in the Indian Ocean,
It
where
was
we've got
12
our
out of
fun
13,
buoys floating.
but
There goes
otherwise
another one.
went great. Hooray! Whatever, go
we're
my
using
Starlinks.
Starlink to bring all of this together. It's our drone shots you see here from our great team down here at Starbase, all connected. So Starlink not only giving us cool views off the planet, but also on the planet, help bring everybody along for all these Starship flights.
Whatever, go my Starlink. They don't have a camera on any of these, do
I
they?
think that's number 4. Somebody check my math. Yeah, we've got 4 Starlink terminals on the outside of Starship. He uses that to talk to the constellation, and through that we actually get about 120 megabits of bandwidth for our downlink. That's our real-time HD video, all of our telemetry. So it's not just kind of giving us these cool views inside, but it's giving all that engineering data in real time, including re-entry when normally a plasma layer builds up and blocks you out. Starlink, powerful enough of a frequency that we're able to kind of punch through that and still get that live view.
No, it's not. That's not why. It's not Starlink that does that. It's the fact that's how big the ship is. It creates a wake in the plasma that Starlink can reach through. But okay, glaze your like biggest source of income, I guess. Can the commentator not count to 4?
All right, next one out the door.
Oh, there it goes.
There we go.
Like Valve where they can't count to 3, true.
Alright, yeah, Starlink is the world's largest satellite constellation operating in low Earth orbit to deliver high-speed, low-latency broadband internet. This provides internet access to people around the world, many of who have never had connectivity before.
Wazoo. Oh, that's cool. I like that. That's cool looking.
Right, today Starlink serves more than 150 countries, territories, and other markets with over 7 million active customers and counting.
Anything outside.
To meet the global growing demand for high-speed internet, SpaceX expanded its factory over in Bastrop, Texas, which is just outside of Austin, and also introduced Starlink Mini, as well as an upgraded version of the Starlink Standard Kit.
Yeah, and one thing to note about this satellite deploy is that they will be following the same suborbital trajectory of the ship. So these dummy sats will not be going in orbit. We do expect them to burn up on re-entry.
Yeah. Put a camera on one of them.
All right, couple more to go. I promise one of these days we'll deploy in daylight. But we're basically trading deploy in the dark so we get those re-entry views for the daytime.
I mean, if they had sharp edges instead of... Yeah. Wow. I'm still making so much money. I mean, they have a ton of government contracts. It's like
all right, I think we
an insane amount,
go.
Which is crazy considering a lot of things. They have, like, SpaceX alone just has like a billion like government contracts.
All right, now with payload deploy complete, Starship will now close its payload door and continue to coast around Earth to the Indian Ocean. We still have a ton of major events to come today, including Raptor Relight at about T plus 37 minutes.
I love I'm so full from government contracts.
That will be followed by atmospheric reentry and splashdown. So with that, we're going to go on another quick coast.
Yeah, if you can hear us.
Waiter, waiter. Waiter, waiter. And there it goes. Door shut. Door shut. Please. I beg you.
Alright, with that payload door closed, we're going to sit tight, enjoy the views, and enjoy the space jams. Again, we'll be back in just a few minutes for Raptor Relay, and then head back for reentry.
Waiter, waiter. More defense contracts. Alright, I had a lot of sunset sarsaparilla, so I'm gonna be right back and deal with that. I'm gonna let you guys enjoy. Let me touch. No, alright, the model's just gonna sit there. Alright. I'll leave this on. I'll be a good streamer and leave the video playing while I go to the bathroom. Be back in a bit. Hope it doesn't explode while I'm gone. Wahoo! Did it explode yet? Did it explode? Nah, it's still here. We should pet the bee. Pet the bee. The bee's head is very soft. The hair is very fluffy. Like a very fluffy hair. Very nice to pet and scratch. Trust me. I'm not saying that because of. I'm not saying that because I would benefit from a lovely head pat right now. I'm saying that for your benefit. That I think it's a good idea for you to do that. For your sake. Yes. No fireworks yet. Don't worry, it's coming soon. Why are you like this? What? Is it wrong for me to share with the world? Do you have like One Piece or something? Yeah. Pet, 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 pet. Yay! I'll make once I get like once I'm able to like that's a membership only thing, damn it. I was gonna say I wanna make emotes, but like it's membership only. And membership has kinda died on YouTube because of YouTube being bad at it. Bad at doing it. Bad with how they're pushing it. I do want to have a head pad emote. I already made one emote. And I'm probably gonna make more. But like the ability to plug them in so people could use them is long, long away. Day 1 members will be there. What? Oh yeah, oh. All that gas that they're just kind of flying through. Day 1 members will be there. They will spam the head pat emote. Yay! Hooray! Yeah, give me a year, and maybe I'll be at the point where I can have emotes. Everyone's spamming Pat the Bee. I mean, I can... Yeah, sure. I'll show it. We're waiting. We're gonna be waiting for like another 20 minutes. Well, that kills the stream. There we go. Let me find it. Maybe make 3 OMG reference? Where are my emotes? I have emotes. They're somewhere in here. Yes, yes, yes I do. Let me go into here. This is the one emote that I've... This is an emote that I've made. Whoops. Detonation. I do want to figure that out. That is... It's like a plugin for OBS that I need to get. I'm just gonna keep her there. Thank you. And that's the only emote I've made so far. Right, since we're here, and I want to glaze an oomph who I commissioned like less than a month ago. I have a logo now. I'm like, once I have like a full actual model, I'll be like kind of an actual VTuber. That's crazy. So I commissioned an oomph. Let me find it. Hold on, let me find it somewhere in here. So I commissioned an oomph named Maple Flower VT. Oh my god, okay, I picked the... Okay, it's a bit too big. I'll pick the smaller, lower res one. I commissioned this. Look at it. Look at it. It's so freaking cool. It's my official logo, my official branded logo. For Phoebe Plague. I'll just put it there as well. Yeah, so I'd commissioned that from Maple Flower VT.
Alright, welcome back everyone. If you're just joining us, you did miss some exciting stuff because Starship successfully deployed its second ever payload, 8 Starlink simulator satellites. And now we're expecting the relight of a single sea-level Raptor engine in space coming up here just after T+37 minutes. So about a minute left to go.
Yep.
You interrupted my glazing.
I think we're tracking to 37 in around
49
seconds or so.
Cover up
so
the
we should
screen.
be just about a minute and a half. Where, again, as Amanda just said, we're going to
I'll let this happen, then I'll continue the glazing afterwards.
This will be the third time that we've tried this. We did it successfully back on Flight 10, and then we did it for the very first time back on Flight 6. This is not a deorbit burn. This is demonstrating essentially all of the systems you would need to do a deorbit burn. So that's obviously your Raptor engine, and then also your header tanks, your smaller tanks in the nose cone, where we have liquid oxygen, liquid methane in a smaller, more easily pressurized container, which we can use for on-orbit burns. And we're also going to tap into those when we do our landing burn. So this will be a critical capability. Once we go to full orbital missions, you'll have to do a deorbit burn to break out of orbit, send it back down to Earth. But in this instance, we're already on our way back down towards Earth. So this is just going to demonstrate the capability of turning one of these engines on. We should be coming up in just about 20 seconds or so, looking for one of those Raptor engines to turn back on. They've been off since we completed that successful ascent burn almost 30 minutes ago. Here we go.
Oh, Raptor ignition.
Yep.
And shutdown.
Woohoo!
All right, there was that Raptor relight. Looks like engine
I love the blue plume.
As Dan mentioned, that's a third attempt.
I'm a big fan of that blue
plume.
plume.
3 times in a row. So congrats to the team, the ship team, Raptor team. And then there we heard nominal second orbital insertion. All right, so congrats everyone on the milestone. That was awesome to see. We're 3 for 3. We're gonna take another break, and we'll be back for re-entry at about T+45 minutes. We'll see you soon.
All right, I can get back to it now. So this thing, this logo, I commissioned from one Maple Flower VT. I commissioned it like, you know, a while ago. And she did an incredible job, and she's very talented. And you should go commission her if you want cool shit. If you want to stream and want cool stuff. I'm gonna put that there as well. While we watch. Ooh. What the hell?
Starship is slewing for entry.
What? That's... Oh. I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy glazing. What the hell happening? Actually, no, this is that like effect with the shuttle. I can't remember the name of it, but it's that like before entry, there's like a gentle plasma glow that forms. I think either that or it's just like could be some just like residual gas that's like hitting parts of the atmosphere and immediately fucking up. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not an atmospheric scientist. I'm a wannabe engineer. Imagine Phoebe Plague virus. What? Whoa. The Phoebe Plague. What does the Phoebe Plague do? What gives you the Phoebe Plague? What's the effects of the Phoebe Plague? It's we like bees and seals. You get tired. and you get really into aerospace and rockets and engineering. Whoa. Oh, the Phoebe plague. Oh, right. I thought you meant like the disease. Because my name has plague. Imagine Phoebe plague virus. They would be exploding over my head patting rant that I kept making. The head patting ramble that I had. About the importance of patting the bee. Don't worry. I'm literally short-sighted. I'm blind. I'm gonna drop that lore and not explain any further.
Starship is approaching entry interface.
Woohoo. Entry. Alright, I gotta clarify, I'm not actually blind, but I'm almost blind. And now I'm not going to clarify any further. Oh. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I got... If I didn't have corrective wear, as one would put it, if I didn't have corrective wear, I'd qualify as blind. That's how bad my vision is. Well, that's a fun fact about me. That's something for the Phoebe Plague Virus account to tweet about. He's flying over Madagascar now. So entry's yeah, we're but a few moments from entry. Yeah, I gotta go in for. I'm getting my driver's license soon, and I'm really looking forward to having to like probably failing the eye test part of it. You're tempted to make it now. Tempted to make the Phoebe Plague Virus account. Do what you want. I won't stop you. I will actively encourage it. I mean, I won't stop you. I'll continue saying really silly... Whoa. I'll continue to say really silly things. I bet. Yay! I'm gonna have a virus account. I'm like a real VTuber. I have budgeted out like roughly how much it would be to like become a proper VTuber instead of my little PNG tuber self with none of that like funny VTuber stuff where I have like lore and I'm like a character. I haven't established any of that yet. I'm just a silly little bee.
Ship is starting entry, good attitude.
Oh, entry has begun. I can tell.
Alright, welcome back everyone. The ship is currently re-entering Earth's atmosphere. As a reminder, we don't plan to recover the spacecraft today, but rapid and reliable reusability is the ultimate goal.
Is streaming has an avatar? You know what, you're right. That is the only qualifications for
the rocket there.
A VTuber.
And, you know, re-entry is a critical phase of flight, and we need information on how the ship systems
like an actual
perform.
model
Re-entry is also extremely demanding portion of flight because we need the ship to scrub off all of the energy we used to launch the rocket. So remember the 33
And
engines
also, I
plus
want
the
the
6 engines on
whimsy
ship that we used
of
to get
like
up into space.
of
We
like
now
the
are
real
using aero
VTubers,
braking essentially
where I
to
have
scrub
like
off all that
law,
energy.
and I have.
And of course,
And it's
Starlink
like,
is a
it's
big part of this, giving us the
silly.
views we have right now,
And it's like an actual
also letting us
character.
gather as much data as possible, which again is really the main reason why we do these flights. And the view we have right now is actually a really good example. As we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, we have some tiles on the leeward side of the flaps here, and we have some different mechanisms, some stud out, basically to see if these tiles will hang on. And you know, we can see already here, it looks like we kept most of them, but I think I see a couple there that are no longer there. So the thermal team is definitely going to be digging into that and taking that data to help us iterate on V3. So yeah, Starlink provides us with one more path to collect data and help us rapidly iterate Starship's design.
And if the ship does
boy,
manage to make it all the
go.
way to re-entry, we'll collect valuable data on the spacecraft flying through the Earth's atmosphere at hypersonic speeds, or more than 5 times the speed of sound. Re-entry is typically a portion of flight where we don't have communications with spacecraft because it's re-entering at or around orbital velocity, which is roughly 8 kilometers per second or 5 miles per second. At those insanely high speeds, the spacecraft moving through the atmosphere creates a plasma field around the vehicle.
Yeah, and that blanket of plasma distorts communication frequencies, so it's not uncommon to experience brief blackouts in communication. All right, so big picture here, Starship is designed to land on Mars where there are no runways or other humans to help out. So that means we need to do a propulsive landing instead of a more traditional means like parachutes, which is what our Dragon spacecraft uses, or a runway like the Space Shuttle. Propulsive landing enables more rapid reusability.
Blah, blah, blah.
Now, as the ship makes its way back to Earth, we should start hearing some call-outs
All these
when
talks
we hear
about
entry max
Mars.
heating and entry max Q. That means the ship has made it through the maximum heating and aerodynamic loads it will experience as it returns. So if it makes it through all of those, that's a pretty good sign that we're doing well.
Yeah, and we heard flaps have control of the vehicle now.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a great shot there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I wonder if we're gonna have another explosion. Oh, hell yeah.
So we will hear a call out when the ship is transonic and then subsonic. Transonic refers to the period of flight where the velocities of airflows surrounding and flowing past the vehicle are concurrently below, at, and above the speed of sound, somewhere in the range of Mach 0.8 to 1.2. All right, a lot of numbers coming up here, but for reference, commercial jets have a range of cruising speeds, but most fly around Mach 0.74 to Mach 0.85, which is 480 to 575 miles per hour, or 770 to 930 kilometers per hour. Right now, we're going a little over 26,000 kilometers per hour. So compare that to the airplane at 930. It's like pretty crazy how fast we're going.
Transonic? Oh my god.
All right, and after we hear the call out that Starship
like
is
the
transonic,
hedgehog.
we should hear the call out that Starship is subsonic. Subsonic, of course, refers to the speed that is much less than the speed of sound. So at that point, the ship's velocity will be starting to slow down, and we'll be looking a little bit more like some of our suborbital flights from, at this point, almost 5 years ago.
Yeah, so re-entry so far is looking pretty good. You can see that plasma field. Also, again, with those missing tile experiments, especially, we're putting the ship through a lot today, but things are looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, we're looking good. I do want to remind people that we are pushing ship to the limits. We've done a lot of these missing tile tests. We did it back on Flight 10. Every time we do it, we throw something new and the ship makes it through. This time, we're really pushing it. We've removed these tiles in some of the spots that see the highest level of heating. And we remove tiles that have zero backup protection underneath. So there's essentially just bare steel. It's one of the heat of re-entry. And so do not be surprised if this is not a very smooth flight on the way down. But again, this is intentional. We are trying to find what are the limits for ship. How resilient are we to these different issues that could pop up? If we lose a tile anywhere on the vehicle, we want to know what that ultimate impact is going to be. So We've got a couple missing. We had a bunch pulled over the primary fuel, the LOX tanks, everything. This one, we've got a tile missing right on top. So that's going to see some of the highest temperatures during this re-entry, and there's just bare steel right underneath it. So we're going to see if Starship's robust enough
they didn't
to
explain
pull
what
through that.
happened.
Also have some tiles.
I mean, we know
missing
kind of what
around the
happened. It was
aft
just because it got
flaps,
hot.
specifically on the leading edge.
Like
So
they
again,
had a heat
we're getting a
feed
really good
through,
look
and
right
then
at the
it went
leading edge.
kaboom
That's getting
right on a
really
paint line.
intense heating. So again, gonna see if it can make it through. See if all the flaps hold on. See if Starship holds together. But definitely could be a bumpy ride. But this is why we're flying. This is why we're flying in this part of the world. This is why we're putting Starship through these flight tests to really understand what its limits are. So we can then move on to the next thing, which is going to be bringing ships back to the launch site for a catch. But for now, still on the suborbital, the light show continuing. Keep following it in. I think we got about 15 minutes until splashdown.
Yeah, Dan, it looks, you can see our speed our speed indicator in the bottom left there. It looks like we're starting to scrub off velocity a little bit quicker.
Ship is entering the peak heating phase of flight.
Oh, already? Not even at sunrise yet. There we go.
Looks like we can see some clouds down there as we pass through 70 kilometers altitude.
God damn, this thing's
Yeah,
booking it.
the sun's starting to come up again.
There we go.
Oh.
Skirt is intact so far this time. If you watched Flight 10, you saw we entered with a little bit missing. That was ultimately traced to a little bit of buildup. We dumped prop on the way. We had a little bit of solid propellant buildup, and then either static discharge or the plasma ignited it, took out a tiny bit of that skirt, some of the aft flaps, but Starship again.
Oh, they did. Okay, so now we have an explanation of what happened.
Way to that landing burn. We addressed that, changed some of our prop dump con-ups though, so should not be seeing that this time around.
Wow.
And as a reminder, we're, in addition to these missing tile tests, we're doing kind of a unique flight on the way in. It's going to do what we call a banking maneuver. So while we're still going supersonic and even hypersonic, we're doing kind of a banking turn, and then we'll do a pretty aggressive turn right as we get into the subsonic and start doing our belly flop. And that's designed to essentially be the approach that we would do on a return to launch site and a tower catch. So don't be surprised if we see the ship start to turn and make a few maneuvers as it makes its way down to the Indian. And fun fact, even though we're doing all this turning, we're essentially targeting the exact same spot in the Indian Ocean we went to last time.
Mm. Wow. Ugh. I love data mushing. Okay, this camera view rules. This looks so cool. I'm sorry.
All right, just about 12 minutes to go. Still looking good. That gives a pretty good view of those aft flaps where, again, on the leading edge, I think it might be on the one on the other side, we had some tiles removed with no backups behind it. So again, we're really trying to stress some of the most sensitive areas around Starship, where basically if you lose a tile, it's the worst possible spot. And if we're able to make it through this, then that tells us quite a bit about just how resilient this vehicle is.
I'm shocked it's still as alive as it is. It's like...
Yeah, and that shot we just had
I
earlier
see so many tiles fly away and like disintegrating. How are you alive?
Engines. And those are the engines that we're going to be expecting to light for that flip and landing burn, hopefully in
How
about
are you
10
alive?
minutes once we get through reentry. Yeah, there we go.
Ooh.
Yeah, looking at E3, that's the one. It's the one we did the relight on. So it's 2 for 2 so far. We'll see if it can go 3 for 3.
Yeah.
It's like Frankenstein. Don't you mean Frankenstein's monster?
All right, we can see that speed just continue to bleed off under 20,000 kilometers an hour. Ship still holding together.
Yeah, and if you look in the bottom right, it looks like we've made it all the way to the Indian Ocean. We're coming up kind of near Australia, the west side of Australia there. So pretty crazy. We're only 56 minutes in, and we've made it all the way, you know, halfway around the world.
Wow, this is going. I'm not going to say anything, actually. I'm not going to say it's going great,
demonstration
because
of
if I say
a future
that, it'll
capability we
explode.
hope to have on Starship, where we will do point-to-point transport on Earth. So essentially
Point
travel
to point.
anywhere in the world in about an hour or so, which is, you know, going to be pretty crazy. Imagine going from New York to Sydney in 1 hour instead of the 20 hours it takes currently.
Frankenstein is entirely inappropriate. I mean, yeah. Whoa. Ow. God damn.
And a reminder, so this camera is,
Whoa.
we see some of the heat rate picking up a little bit. And this camera is embedded right in the end of one of those forward flaps, so you see it moving around. That's
there
the
it
flap
goes, it's banking.
adjusting to maintain control. Looks like we're getting into our bank maneuver.
Whoa.
Now power sliding through the atmosphere.
External temperatures are coming down.
Wow, we're still booking it.
Vehicle is now at maximum dynamic pressure.
We getting IRL hell jumpers and hell divers before GTA 6. Wow.
All right, that was basically our reverse max Qs. So most aerodynamic stress that it's going to see during reentry, we just passed through it. So we're past that. We're past peak heating. Ship still holding together.
Wow. Wow, it's really.
So we're currently in this
It's
bank
fine.
maneuver. We're going to see it kind of roll
It's
over
doing
and do
great.
a pretty significant shift as we get down closer to the subsonic speeds.
Yeah, and that bank maneuver that Dan's
I
mentioning
really want to
is
see what the heat
all in
shield
part
looks
of
like
us
right
to
now.
learn about the guidance, navigation, and control for
really wanna
return to
see
launch
it.
site missions. So in the near future, we're hoping to return the ship back to the same pad we just took off on 59 minutes ago, and we've got to do some of these pretty dynamic bankings to make that trajectory work out.
All right, the light show kind of calming down as we're starting to move into the lower parts of the atmosphere.
wait.
We should hit
Is that bun
transonic,
through at the
so
bottom there?
hitting that
Down on
transition
that bottom
between
flap?
moving
Oh.
faster than the speed of sound and below the speed of sound in just about
well
3.5
done.
minutes. Our landing
forces
burn
to
should
involve
happen
percent low
right
jumps
around
early 2020
an hour and
X.
6 minutes after launch, so we should be just about 6 minutes away from that. You can see lots of daylight.
Neat.
Everybody cross your fingers, see if
I
our
love
range
world
team was
building.
able to get
I love
out
doing
there
world
and
building. It's
provide
so
any
fun.
surprise views as Starship makes its way down. Oh, it's like they heard me.
Ooh. Oh yeah. I love
Ready and waiting. Let's go.
Dan, you just spoke that view into existence there. And again, all brought to us by Starlink.
Maneuver has started.
All right, there we go. So we're now starting into our really heavy bank maneuver. And this does almost like a half circle loop to our actual trajectory. We're heading to the same exact splashdown point, but we're kind of doing a more roundabout way to get there, where it's this kind of big, long half moon loop and then a really aggressive kind of twist right at the very end. And that would line us up with the launch tower. Starship, on a return to launch site, would fly over the tower, do a quick landing burn flip, and then come down for catching the arms.
How about that S38 decal there, staying strong on that view we just had?
Good to see the numbers back on.
Yeah.
All right, should be hitting transonic in about 2.5 minutes.
Don't hit transonic. She did nothing wrong.
Landing flip coming up in about 4. Pretty clouds there in the Indian Ocean today. Again, yeah, we changed our launch times. We launch in the evening now, so we get these daytime views down in the Indian Ocean. One of the things we're really looking for, the reason we have the drone, other than, yeah, that looks really cool, is we're able to kind of see the ship. We can only see so much from these cameras. You can't see like the vast majority of the heat shield. So we throw these buoys out there. We've got there's...
You spoke it again, Dan. There it is.
They're playing with me in the control room. All right. But we have these buoys out there. We have these drones that we're trying to see externally how the heat shield held up. Everybody saw from Flight 10 it had a little bit of a paint job, a little bit of a reddish hue. That was from those metallic tiles that we had tested. Kind of oxidizing really rapidly in that plasma and then spreading those little oxide particles all over the heat shield. No metal tiles on this flight, so not expecting to see that.
Dynamic pressure is coming down.
Hope nobody gets seasick.
Whoa. What the hell?
All right, coming up on transonic shortly. It's about 2.5 minutes of landing burn.
Yeah, and once we get to around the 15-kilometer altitude mark, that's where we have a lot of flight history.
Starship is transonic, starting the belly flop phase of flight.
Oh boy, here we go.
The belly flop phase that we perfected in the suborbital campaigns. We're entering that now.
Oh. Like the piece that's just like flapping a bait. A bait? About. Whoa.
Right, starting to get those Raptors ready. Should be 2 minutes away from landing burn. Again, we're going to do a flip.
Cool. They put
After we ignite those engines, we'll go from 3 down to 2 for the final phase of the landing burn and look for another soft splashdown. Hopefully, by our buoy and drone, which are hanging out, ready and waiting for a ship.
About. Someone turn on the Eurobeat because we're drifting. Oh.
Seeing all 3 center engines have entered the chill phase.
Oh, there are like no tiles there.
All right, less than a minute to go.
All right, here we go.
The ship is making its turn for final approach.
And here's this kind of aggressive final turn that would essentially position it so it's right behind the launch and catch tower.
Ooh, sick camera view.
Flaps holding strong. Landing burn in just under 20 seconds.
Next flight, they don't put any tiles on. Like at this point.
Ship landing startup.
Oh. Oh, here it go.
There's our landing burn.
Yay!
3 down to 2.
Starship has landed.
Yay! We didn't get drone view. Shipping? Auto Fister? Oh my god. Oh my god, Auto Fister. Auto Fister mentioned right as it exploded. Let's go!
As we said, we're not planning on recovering the ship today. Hey, welcome back to Earth, Starship. We are down in the Indian Ocean. Let him hear it, Starbase. What a day.
What a flight.
Yippee!
Oh.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
All right.
What a wonderful time.
Welcome back to Earth.
Do you need to come up with a name for your friends?
What a
It's
day.
just gonna
A whole
be
lot more to go through. As you just saw, everybody here at Starbase
Yeah,
pretty hyped. Hey, Tyler.
I'll figure that out once
how's
I
everybody
like.
holding up?
Yeah, I need to figure it out.
Thank you, Dan. We
Once
had
I
a
have, like,
fantastic time watching.
a
It was
fair
another
amount.
exciting Starship flight test in the books, and we hope that you enjoyed those Starlink views too. So congratulations to the team at Starbase and everyone
everyone's
here and around
already
the company.
leaving.
So many employees contribute to the
Wonder if
Starship
it's the
program
deserve
as
the
we continue
fireworks.
to iterate and make
True.
progress towards a multi-planetary future. So that wraps it up for us here in Hawthorne. Thank you for tuning in, and back to you guys.
Yeah, what an incredible launch today. We had successful liftoff. Booster completed its objective, successfully splashed down over in the Gulf. Obviously, we saw another amazing
Hooray.
Starlink deploy as well from ship.
We will turn
made it
Spitter
through
into the
that
Grim
re-entry,
Tunnels.
testing all the different experience. We had missing
We will
tiles,
fix
gave
them.
us quite the light
Yay.
show. We had that Raptor relight 3 for 3. That was ahead of re-entry, of course. And then that awesome splashdown that we just saw, including that dynamic banking maneuver to simulate RTLS when we returned to the launch site. So yeah, we promised maximum excitement, and Starship delivered.
Definitely.
Congrats to all our teammates at SpaceX and to everyone who's supporting the Starship program. And thank you to all our future customers for your support.
We'd also like to thank the fine people of Cameron County, including the residents of its newest city, Starbase, as well as the Coast Guard, the Federal Aviation Administration, the Government of Mexico, and the Australian Space Agency.
Yeah, be sure to follow SpaceX on X for updates and about more of the exciting views we didn't get to feature on today's broadcast.
Wahoo.
And if you're interested in more launch coverage just like this, head over to spacex.com/launches for the most up-to-date information.
I don't remember the outro being so full of ads.
All right, I will take us out. Hey, congrats, Jake and Amanda. You guys did amazing. Great job.
Who
All
is
right,
this
today
chat
we
she's
launched the world's
talking
biggest
to?
rocket, knocked out all of our objectives. Shout outs to every single person who made this look easy. Thank you to everybody tuning in. We're going to see you back here for the very first flight of our next generation Starship. So we'll see you then. Good night.
Really holding on that guy. Yeah, it's you guys, my beloved chat. Well, that was a lovely time now, wasn't it? Jolly good show. Oh, I'm glad it didn't blow up. Does it mean cat and friend? The awkward stare. True. I'm talking to you guys. You're my chat. Yay. Yay. Pat. Wow, they just ended it immediately. See, I would never do that. I would never just like abruptly end the stream. This truly was a Starship Flight 11. Yeah, see, I'm kind. I would never just abruptly end the stream for you guys. You guys are great. You guys are really wonderful, and I kind of wish we had a full stack anomaly 2 seconds before launch. True. Would have been so funny. See, now me responding to chat has ruined my bit, where I will just like... yeah, I'd never do that. Because, like, I'd never just mid-sentence, just, like, immediately just